the layer off and on. Couple things right at the top. Layers, you might think that this is going to be really easy to use. It's kind of a pain in the ass, okay? No, a lot of people, a lot of my friends that use layers, they do not like using them really at all, because when you hand off objects that have layers between people, they're like really hard to work with sometimes. And, you know, the detail, not that it gets lost, it's just like sometimes it's just hard to use. So, you know, be kind of, you probably want to do this at the end of your model's life when you're like committed to your mesh that you have. You're committed to the geometry and you're committed basically to your level of subdivision. Because you can, when you create a layer at whatever subdivision you're on, it only affects, like, it can only be turned on again at that level of subdivision. So if you have a mesh at like, you know, 150,000 polygons, but then you figure out you need to subdivide, the layer kind of breaks, you know? So I only really use this for like finishing touches, basically. So how do layers work? So you hit the plus icon. It's going to start recording. So immediately as you do that, anything that you are going to add to the mesh is now going to be recorded. So if I do this and then turn off the recording and then toggle the layer off and on, that's what was recorded. So you want to be kind of judicious in what you're adding to the mesh. So be smart, be purposeful. So let's say I turn the layer on and I go down here and I just kind of click and drag a shape like that to make the seam that I want. Immediately, I'll just turn off the layer and then turn off that, turn the visibility off and on. And then I can use the move tool. So actually, so let's say I have to make changes. So this is why this is kind of a pain in the ass, because now it's like, you can't edit this because it has a layer. Okay, well, I'm going to turn off visibility of that layer and then make whatever change I need to make or whatever. You know, I'm purposely destroying it. But then if I turn my layer back on, the stitching is still there. So it's kind of like a blend shape or like a morph target that you can control with a layer.
That's interesting. Huh.
So if you have to go back and add more judicious folds, so that's why I usually do this at the end, because if you have the layer on, like visible, you can't make any changes to it. So I usually save it for details that I know I can just turn off and then make whatever changes I need to make and then turn it back on.
I had to suffer for that for the shirt. God, dang.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Shit.
So now I can like hit Control Z and go back to before I fuck this up. How do you delete the layer?
Huh?
You can delete the layer by going here and clicking delete.
Oh, okay.
You can duplicate the layers. You can name the layers. You can create new. You can hit bake all the layers, which will just bake everything down, which you might want to do before you decimate or whatever. You can also control the intensity of the layer here. So the stitching is going in and it's at level 1. I can control how strong it is here if I want to. So you get a little bit more control for sure.
Does this affect the zero mesh? If anything, you have the Dynamesh or zero mesh or anything else?
So yeah, if you have to zero mesh or you have to Dynamesh again at this point, I'm pretty sure the layer will just break and not work anymore. So that's why you want to save this for the end of the process.
Okay, thank you. I just gotta remember that now.
Yeah. You could also try using morph targets for like detailing or something. So like, let's say, for example, you know, for me personally, when I go in here and I'm like, I want to start adding detail and breakup to a piece of armor or something like that, right? So I might use like orb cracks or whatever to start getting in here and like adding all this breakup or whatever. And I like make this more intense, you know, stuff like this, right? But same type of deal. Oh no, I'm like baking it into the surface. I don't like this. I want to go back and change it. I might not use a layer in that scenario. What I might do instead is before I start adding this detail is I'm going to set a morph target. So I store a morph target at the highest level subdivision. Let's go through and let's start adding, you know, some specific breakup or whatever. Maybe use some bevels to kind of break up the surface too, like make her look a little bit, you know, battle damage. I don't know. Does she even go into the battle? She's like a cute anime girl, right? They don't actually fight.
She does fight in this one.
Okay. So, you know, go in there like that. But I'm like, okay, I like some of this, but I don't like all of it. So I have a morph target, right? So when I hit B, M, and O to go to the morph target brush, so you're looking for the morph, morph. Where do you see it?
Oh wait, I saw it earlier.
Right here. I already have it selected, but you're looking for the morph brush basically. This only works if you have a morph target. I can click and I can get rid of that detail and morph it back to how the mesh looked previously.
So it's like masking, like hiding.
It's kind of like masking. So I'm like, I don't really like all this detail here or all this detail I changed. So I'm like break up some of that. But I like this particular guy, but maybe I only like it in like certain spots.
So you're able to control the intensity in there. Okay, that's not.
Yeah.
Oh, that saves time.
So that is nice. Now the thing is, you might think that this is like a layer, but you kind of have less control. It only works at the current subdivision you have on. So it only works at the either like if you started at subdivision 4, it only works at subdivision 4. You can control the morph here, but it's not like a slider like in the layer slider. Like if you make it much stronger or whatever, or get rid of it even, that will be the new default. You won't be able to like go back and change that intensity again. Additionally, you can only switch between the old and your current version, like so. So switching will switch between your current version and what you had previously.
And this
so you
is
can
like
kind of see the difference.
And he uses it at the last moment, like the last final detail or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it uses so whenever you hit store morph target, that's when it stores the other version, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I use morph targets to add stitching. Sometimes I use morph targets. I really only use morph targets for like detailing big pieces of armor and stuff. Like on that knight character, I use morph targets all the time. I've also used morph targets for hair. Like if I knew a client was like, so say for example, on my last job, I made one character where I added, they were like, we want the hair strands to feel, they were like, we want the hair strands to, here's like, okay, let me do this right here. So an example like this, right? So let's do this on this guy, right? So I'm going to BCB. Why can't I store a morph target on this? Because I don't have subdivisions or what? Why can't I store a morph target on this? Solo mode. Hello? Why can't I store a morph target? Why can't I store a morph target? Does anybody know why that might be the case? Do you have frozen subdivisions? Do you have dynamic turns on?
Should be good. Huh.
Can I store a morph target on these guys? But that's weird. I don't know why. It won't let me store a morph target on that. Okay, let's grab like a bigger chunk. Let's like do this hair strand here, okay, for example. So can I store a morph target on this? Cool. I don't know why I wasn't able to store a morph target on that. So they were like, we want the hair to look a specific way. Can you make the hair strands more apparent? Kind of immediately, I was like, I'm going to make them very strong, but then set them to a morph target or a layer so I can control the intensity if they want a lower intensity, which they did. So for this example, I was like, store a morph target, make whatever shapes I want to make like this, right? So I'm actually using Control D, which I shouldn't, or Shift D and Control D, which I shouldn't be doing. But then they were like, that's a little too strong. Can you bring it back, please? And I was like, sure. Let's bring it down a little bit in the morph layer. And then they were like, oh yeah, that's like much better. Yeah. We want it more like that. So like you can use them to kind of like help you gauge like how strong you want a particular detail to be.
Okay, that saves time.
They're really useful for sure. So again, there's like toss-ups to both. And there's like tons of stitching brushes that you can just probably download for free for ZBrush on ArtStation if you guys want to use them. Okay. So like stitching brush. Somebody has probably made like an entire stitching. Quick and simple stitching tutorial by this person, Daniel Rias. Oh, you start with your seam. Okay, helix, huh? Ultra helix. Deform them onto your model. Wow. I feel like we just all learned something new together. Look at that. That looks really good.
Oh.
Huh. Interesting. I never even thought about doing that. But that's not what I was looking for. I was trying to go to the store. Where is it? There's just like whole pages where people have made Stitch. Let's go to the store. How do I get to the marketplace? There we go. Search stitching.
There we go.
There you go. Somebody's made, like, people have all made all sorts of stitching brushes or whatever for. So you go. Here's an IMM brush that does it. We haven't really talked about IMM brushes in this class yet, but maybe we can talk about them. We could maybe talk about them later today or next week if we have time.
Ooh, I like those. Yeah, that's the one I'm probably going to use.
Yeah. So I mean, it's only $3, so it's fine. You know, or I mean, I've used this stuff all the time in ZBrush or in Maya.
Oh, I like that one, the zipper.
Or I've used them a whole bunch in production there. So yeah, and I just feel like, you know, like I said earlier, some of these don't look as good when they're baked down unless you're baking at a really, really high resolution. So it's really a toss-up about what you want to use. Here, I'll just paste these if you guys want to look at them really fast. So yeah, basically, but what I feel like for most people is that a lot of you guys are probably going to just be able to get away with something like this. And then you just bake it and use your AO map and fill it in with a little bit of black, and it'll look pretty good. I think, especially on stylized characters.
So for me, try just do it in Substance. Let's do all the stitching in Substance and just cheat it like that. Or
I would say yeah, because actually, what you can also do in Substance Painter. Oh, I have two versions of Substance.
I know you can actually change the height in Substance. That's what I remember still.
So that's what I was just about to demonstrate is like you can actually like once you draw out that detail, if we go back to here and we turn up the height, you can make it pop out a little bit. So that's actually, see, that's really bad because it's like, so, hold on, where's my brush?
Right.
Stitching. Okay. Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. I was on a fill layer. So if I make it much bigger and change the height, it'll be more apparent. There you go. So actually kind of, you can actually fake the height detail there.
So depending on the UVs, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I would say for sure.
Yeah. I'll probably do that way, then molly it and saves time. Hoping. But thanks for. I didn't know about that. The other layers. I was like, oh, you can do layers. Okay, that's actually useful. A lot of stuff I probably would use it.
Does anybody else have any questions about that stuff?
No, just about the Boolean thingy.
The Boolean thingy?
Yeah, so you told us about the Booleans last week, and I tried it, and it did other things.
Okay, let me take a look. Okay.
Let's make a list, right?
Okay. So yeah, if you guys haven't started like adding, if you want to start adding some stitching folds and some other particular details to your characters, I would say start to do that now. That's kind of like the last minute task. Oh yeah, we can make these pockets separate meshes for sure. I'll take a look at that in a sec. All right, so where were you trying to do the booleans?
So in the belt, so where the pin goes through, and also in the shirt where it'd be kind of like how do you call it? Like we like having the rope keeping that closed, but I think there's a folder called belt there that has a sub tool in it.
So this is the belt, and then this is the. Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's you hit start at the top, and then you're supposed to go live Boolean, and then what happens was it would just everything would just disappear. And then when I turn on wireframe, I can see it's still there, but woe be told, there's no hole in it.
Okay, so let's take a look. So yeah, turn start on here. So it's in the folder. Hit live Boolean, and you don't see this?
No, that did not happen in my case. I mean, I've got it open right now. Let me test it just to make sure that I'm not going full idiot mode. Subtools. Nope, still making everything go away.
What version of ZBrush are you on?
2019 Pirate Edition.
Pirated edition.
Yar.
And it's set up exactly the same like this, right? Like it's set to the second intersect one here.
Yep.
And you have start turned on?
I do. I can screen share if you want me to.
Okay, let's stop recording. All right, yeah, let me stop screen sharing, and sure, if you want to screen share.
Alrighty. Share screen and ZBrush. I have so many things open here. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So this is my setup over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go live Boolean and but goodbye.
Is it because you don't have visibility turned on your belt?
Like turn it off and try it.
But it's there? What happens? So what happens when you turn off live Boolean.
Sure.
And then just click on the belt drop down there. So go to the gear next to the belt window, belt folder, and what if you do just Boolean folder?
Boolean folder. Where is that even?
Down under hide poly paint. There you go. Yeah.
So
click on the mesh on the bottom there. So you created a U mesh belt. Click on that. That one right there. Yeah. Click on that.
This one?
Nope. Down 2.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
All right. So that seems to work, interestingly enough. Okay, so live Boolean, not so great, but that works. Thank you.
The live Boolean is giving you a preview. I don't know why it's doing that weird visual bug, but yeah, it looks like it's that's weird. I've never seen that before, really. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. For your other character or for the rest of this character, like definitely you want to start to smooth out. I know you just Dynamesh this. You probably need to reproject the details maybe from the old arms, but you want to get rid of these like really Dynameshy looking patches.
Just over here and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I spent a lot of time fixing up the hands, and then I fix them like, oh, it's all gone.
Well, if you kept the original arms or the hands somewhere, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you can reproject the details from the old arms and the old hands. You might have to re-clean up the seams, but you can, you can Z-mesh them and get a new cleaned up mesh for sure.
Useful. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I want to look at Stephanie's again because I want to talk about making these pockets and stuff. I think some other people have like pants and stuff that I want to comment on too really fast. Let me share my screen. Okay. All right. Did they finish downloading? Okay. All right. Hit T. Whoops. Hit F. There we go. Robin. Okay, cool.
Also, don't forget to start recording OBS.
Yes, I'm recording. I'm starting a new recording now. Okay, cool.
Just a reminder.
Thank you. So yeah, overall, looking pretty cool. How are you feeling about it, Stephanie? Any thoughts? I don't know if I can hear you on mic. Can anybody? I can't hear. Can anybody else hear her?
I cannot.
I don't hear anything.
Damn.
No.
Hello? Oh, there you go. Hello? I heard something.
Yes.
Hi, Stephanie?
Hi. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It's working now. Yeah, how do you feel like this is coming along?
It's coming along. I know I need to work on the jacket a bit more and the hair.
Okay. So yeah, for pockets and stuff that you guys are adding, I would say also don't forget to give this thickness. It looks like you haven't done that yet.
No.
Okay, so here's an easy trick for when you do want to add thickness. So go over here to your. Okay, so it looks like you were already about to or something. So I reconstructed subdivs, right?
Yeah.
We're at level 3 subdiv for this.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to give this thickness now, I can delete lower subdivs, right? I was at subdivision level 3. So, keep that in our brain. Now, if we go to edge loop here, we want to give it panel loops, but we want to multiply the number of subdivisions we had previously by 4 because every polygon is divided by 4. So I want to set this to like 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. So then when I give it the panel loops that I want, like this, and then I go back to reconstruct subdiv, I have an edge loop and I have my panel loops all set up, but I also have my subdivisions again and I get to keep all my detail. Okay. So that's an easy way to add thickness after you've already sculpted on like the thin surface a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, pockets and stuff and other details that you guys are working on, like pockets on pants or like any other panels on pants and stuff. Usually what I do is I just kind of cheat it. I just draw a shape like this, and it might be easier to just quad draw a specific shape or actually what you can use. There's lots of different ways that you can do this. I'm so excited, but we can use the topology brush. Is anybody familiar with this?
No, I didn't even know it existed, actually.
Yeah, I kind of learned about it recently, but if you just draw out a surface like this, there you go. It draws topology, and then you can just click on it, and now I've got this surface here. And then now what I can do is I can like select on this. I want to, hold on. Let me go back before I did this. Because I want to polygroup this into one. I made a duplicate of the jacket. This is kind of like insert meshes. So when I quad draw, use the topology brush again. So this is kind of similar to quad drawing in Maya also. You just draw out a surface like this and you draw a specific shape like that. And then you click on your mesh and it does that.
Holy shit.
I don't know why this is thick. Oh, its thickness is determined on the draw size of my brush. So if I wanted to have 0 thickness, I need to make sure it's at 0. And so then I click. There we go, on my mesh. So now I just have 2 very thin polygons here. And then I can just go to modify topology. Or rather what I can do is I can isolate select this, invert my selection. So now I just have these 2 polygons. And go to delete hidden here. And then now I can turn on the old jacket here, but now I have these new separate meshes here. Cool.
I see.
So if this only works in 2020, by the way, I'm really sorry for everybody because they added this new feature with Z-Remesher called Snap to Surface. So, or not Z-Remesher, but with Z modeler. So if I change the Z modeler and I use the move points by radius button, so let's solo mode, right? So if you guys aren't familiar with Z modeler, have I talked about this in this class a little bit?
I don't think so.
Okay, ZModeler is a crazy program that will let you. I've shown it how to use it to crease and stuff, right? Like, haven't I?
Yes, for creases and stuff. I think you touched on it very, very briefly.
Yeah, so it does everything depending on what you have selected. So if I have an edge selected, its default action is set to insert edge loop, which is actually pretty good because like I want to add some edge loops here to kind of even this out. You can change it to bevel, but if you hover over a vertex or a point, you have a whole bunch here. You have move by brush radius, move by infinite depth or whatever. They added this new feature in 2020 called snap to surface, or 2021 called snap to surface. So when that's turned on and I click on this, it will kind of move like quad draw in Maya and stay snapped to the surface. So if I want to create a very specific shape, I can kind of just move it where I want, like so. Maybe insert a couple edge loops here and then snap them to the surface, like so.
And this is on the 2020, yeah?
This is only in 2021. This new snap to surface feature is only in 2020.
Shit.
I mean, but it's no different than just quad drawing in Maya. Literally what I just showed you guys a little while ago. Okay.
Wow. So fast too.
It is fast, but but it's also fast to just make it in Maya too. This is just a strip. You could also just make a square.
Oh, in Maya,
or like just make a square in ZBrush and import it, right? Like, so now that you got like a shape like this, I would make this shape like way thinner to be, make it match the reference that I'm trying to make. Try to make it more accurate than this. Whoops. So solo mode. So yeah, it's only one-sided. And then you just do everything we've been doing. Just crease it and give it some edge loops or panel loops, I mean. Yep, great. Panel loops, bam.
Huh.
Just insert that bad boy. Crease it. Control D. And you got some like nice looking jacket pockets there. I actually have to manipulate this side. So let me go back and do a quick mirror and weld. Control D. So why do you guys want to do this? Like, why am I making such a big deal of this? Because when you get into Substance Painter, you have the ability, you have this map that you bake out called an ID map. So is anybody familiar with that map?
Heard of them, never used them.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, when you're putting the text, like the
when you're doing your baking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing is like all of these different colors that you see, this main green color, that's the color of just the suit. And then this is a color of another subtool. This is the color of another subtool. I've baked all this down to one low poly shape and it's compressed it all down. But I still have the ability to so I actually removed that detail on my texture. But if I wanted to bring it back, I could just, pick a color that I like. I could add a mask with color selection here, pick a color, pick this guy, and bam, that color is like instantly back, all based on me creating these separate subtools and separate panels. So that's why I'm always like, you guys should just make separate subtools because it'll make it way easier later. And I think it'll just look nicer and more accurate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll just try that then. It's like a coat. It's like a masking over a mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. I think I don't know. I feel like the hair could also be pushed a little bit further. What do you think, Stephanie?
Yeah, I was just testing it out.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do it like separate.
Okay, cool. There's definitely a ton of different ways to do hair. Like, I know we've already been talking about this a lot. Let's go to over here. So let's go to over here. Bam. There's like this Samus piece that I really like all the way at the bottom here that somebody did. Like there's lots of great examples of people doing like it all from one mesh. Or that might be separate subtools. I'm not really sure. But this guy did this Samus piece, and he said that all of these are just like big chunks, and all he used was standard, damn standard clay buildup, pinch. But yeah, look at all these individual panels and stuff. Like you can tell, like all these different little surfaces here are just separate extractions to get like a really nice, accurate paneling on her like skin tight suit or whatever. And I mean, this guy works. He's a senior character artist at Bungie. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, yeah. But imagine doing that for this. Oh my god.
So those are all separate subtools they used.
I mean, this looks like the bake version of the mesh. But I'm pretty sure like a lot of these are like were separate panels or something.
Wow, the hair.
Yeah, this dude's like nuts.
I only know one person who used to work in Bungie. Well, no, two people now.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of my friends is working there now.
Is this Alan? Where's the Prey ones? What's that dude's name? Adam. What's his last name? Anybody know who I'm thinking of? Not Adam Esat. It's like Adam. Let me go on Twitter here. Adam Fisher. This guy. He like did he did a ton of suits for Prey. That sci-fi game that came out. Yeah, I have to imagine that a lot of these are separate subtools or separate extractions or whatever for all these different pockets and panels and stuff. And then they're all just baked down into this kind of low poly here.
Oh, okay.
And the ambient occlusion map, it helps a lot when you bake that type of detail down. Yeah, cool. I don't know if you've like given his hands another pass either, Stephanie. Oh no, why is it so dense? Oh man, it's so dense. I would clean this up for sure, but then I was gonna like let's go back to like one that's like, oh, they're all so dense. I was gonna like fix up his hands a little bit so they're like a little bit more kind of like straightforward. Because like he's got a little strong hand action going on, you know what I'm saying? That's my strong hand. You guys know from Scary Movie 2. I've never watched the movie. I only know that clip where he's like, yeah.
We're getting close to Halloween, so hey.
Yeah, there you go. I just feel like his like proportions could be tweaked a little bit because he's got some like weird spacing in between here, and like this pinky is just getting a little bit too thin for my taste. Like I'm playing Yakuza 0 for I'm not playing it for the first time, but I'm playing it again. Like they all have like super detailed hands, right? Because they all have to do like a lot of exaggerated hand animations, right, for when they're fighting. And like you don't really think about that when you're character modeling, but that's the type of like challenges that you're going to run into when you guys work on a project. Is like if it's like a fighting game, the character's hands are going to be pretty important. But if it's a game like Mass Effect or BioWare, not to throw those games under the bus or whatever, because I love those games, but like they're probably not too concerned with the extreme proportion of like, you know, how extreme the hands can get. But yeah, if you're working on a fighting game, for example, maybe the new Arkham Knights game that just came out, right? Did you guys watch that trailer?
Mm-hmm. I saw the new Spider-Man trailer, Miles with Spire Cat.
Miles Morales.
We got Spire Cat now, not Spire Pig. Dang it. I want Spire Pig in this game.
Spider Pig.
Yep.
Is this what it is? Where's Arkham Knights? What is this what it's called?
Where is it? I saw the trailer. Where is it?
Arkham.
I see Batgirl. That's one of them, but no, where's the other one?
New Arkham video game. Gotham. Oh, it's called Gotham Knights. Okay. Gotham Knights. Yeah, for example, for like this, right? Like they're probably going to have like a lot of close up of their bodies and stuff as they're like fighting and punching people. All these different interpretations of
Robin.
Aren't there? These are like the same 3 characters in the comic, right? Like Robin turns into Nightwing, and there's like,
Dick
and then Red Hood is like a different version of Robin who's like pissed. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Well, the one that who kind of died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's from the comic.
Yeah, I didn't know.
The Red Hood one's actually one of my favorite cosplays to do. I'm almost done with his helmet.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I would definitely clean up those hands, clean up his body, like I demonstrated. Give yourself the controls. It sucks to be a Robin. Yeah, I imagine. I mean, his face is really cool. Yeah, get that hair looking really nice too. Watch for little details like this. Everyone, keep in mind this stuff while you're working on your model. But yeah, do you have any other questions, Stephanie, or about this right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Cool. I would definitely make this. I know this is still very work in place, but kind of in the same way that I did this, I would kind of make it attached to the surface and kind of morph against it, right? Yeah, and make it a separate object, right?
Yeah.
I actually did that. I don't know if I showed this to you guys. I made a jacket like that. Let me see if I can find the original file. Oh, you guys ready to see my first character that I made when I graduated school?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, not the first character I made, but
No, what was your first one?
The one I graduated with. Let me see if I can even find it. Folder art.
Right now, the best character in Smash is Kirby. The block Kirby's. Oh, God. What time? 46, okay.
It's not in here. Is it on my hard drive? Let's find out together, folks. Does anybody else have any questions about anything specific? I know we only have a few minutes left. I'll try to take a look at everyone's stuff. I know a couple of people asked me for feedback this week, and I didn't really have time. I will try to get back to you hopefully this weekend. Like Ashley, for example, I know I didn't really have a ton of time, but I can definitely take a look at it tomorrow morning. Back me up at campus. Okay, character school. All right, what do you guys want to see first?
What are the options?
Okay, let's look at this. Oh wow, I didn't save much of this. Okay, let's just look at the original. Let's look at the character I graduated with first.
Okay,
yeah, here you go.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, so here we go. So this was the character, one of the first characters I was making when I graduated. He was based off Hotline Miami.
Miami.
Yeah. So I don't even think I did what I tell you guys to do. Yeah, this is all made up of the same. Man, I mean, that doesn't look too bad. If I'm going to be real with myself, I'm like, man, that looks...
The folds.
I'm so impressed with this. Yeah, and the folds look okay. I sculpted these.
Yeah, looks good.
What the fuck, dude?
Wait, what ZBrush was this back then?
This was 4R8. Yeah, look, he doesn't have socks because I just knew I was going to duplicate this over. Oh yeah. Oh, these have deformation layers? No way. Oh no, they don't. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look how crusty this is getting in here.
So did you for the shoes? Did you tie? Do you have holes in that one or not?
Oh yeah. So I know some people are probably gonna have questions about this on their shoes, and I think probably maybe Daniel too. But yeah, these are just separate panels that I made. And they don't really even have holes. These are just fake rings, and the ambient occlusion bakes and fakes that they look like they're actual holes, basically.
Just fake it in texture.
Yeah, basically, you fake it in texture.
Okay.
I've heard of fake it till you make it, but that's a new one.
Mhm.
Fake it in the texture.
So this,
What are you talking about? That's all of Jamin's
Oh,
classes.
I added noise on this guy.
It's
too?
all
No
the
way,
texture.
dude.
Literally all of it.
That's the entire class.
Hey, here's a cube. Make it three-dimensional. We want to see what's inside it.
Exactly.
Use Photoshop and nothing else.
Oh wow. The only thing about this guy is that the face is pretty bad, from what I remember. It's not
That's
like a
what the
great
big
face.
mask is
Yeah.
Oof. Look at that
Yeah,
guy.
it's-
He's been punched in the face a few times.
Yeah, I think the idea was that I watched one of the trailers for Hotline Miami that came out that like was like a live action, and it was just like a dude, and I thought that was really cool. So I didn't like try to make him look pretty, but I like, I didn't really, do like an amazing job. And yeah, this is back when I poly painted stuff in ZBrush because I used that for my AD map because I was baking in X normal, not in Substance Painter or anything.
Are we
X normal.
Or are we doing this like are we doing poly paint or something like that?
You guys could feel free to use polypaint for sure. I will say for your guys' final turn-ins, I am expecting some sort of render of your high poly. It doesn't have to have polypaint, but I'm just looking for a render or turnaround of your high poly. So you guys will, and I'll demonstrate how to go over that. So yeah, a lot of the things that I'm talking to you guys about using seams and stitching, like, I separated these pockets out as separate subtools.
Would be a good high poly idea, or like how far the high poly can be
for this guy.
Yeah, like high.
What do you mean?
Like, would this be a good example of like high poly upward or more? What more?
That I'm expecting in my class?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. He's not on my portfolio anymore. It's, keep that in mind. But like,
you've had some more experiences than I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, like, yeah, if you guys could turn, like, your high poly should be relatively cleaned up and like detailed a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, these folds on these pants are awful, but I'm like pretty impressed with these like individual folds on the jacket arms.
Yeah, that gives it more like the Letterman jacket.
Yeah. So that's what I graduated with. You guys want to see the first character I made though?
First characters are fun.
Okay, so the first character, I would say this is the first character I tried to make based off concept art. Was this thing?
Oh heck!
Oh,
from,
dear Lord.
It was from Torchlight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know it doesn't look anything like that.
Can we see the concept art?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it really fast.
You could put it in comparison. I'm making my first character as well.
Mm-hmm.
First
character.
Wait, what?
I had my first character set. It looked like shit. Like, really.
I don't have the original tech. Oh, here you go. Wait, no, that's the concept that I came up with. Wow, God, I thought I was a concept artist. So dumb. Characters. Okay. Let me see if I can just look it up. What time is it right now? We got about 10 minutes left. Okay.
Banshees.
I don't even think we can. I don't even have the original image saved.
Is there on the top right there? Far right?
Far right? No. It's from Total Warhammer. Maybe it got deleted. I don't know where I didn't put it. Wait, characters school. I don't have like the do I have my original? Wait, here we go. Character modeling? Nope. Oh, okay. Well, that's the actual first character I ever made. Okay. Maybe we can look at that one too. Final Game Pro 1? You guys want to see my, I don't know. Will this even play? You guys want to see my first reel?
Oh yes.
Here's my first 480 reel.
2013.
Okay, that's my phone number. Okay, whatever. Okay, so this was the old version of Jacket. Only 10K triangles. God, what a nightmare. And this was before I didn't know how to render wireframes in Maya cleanly, so I just put the UV texture on him to render the wireframe.
I mean, whatever works.
Yeah. God, look at that topology. Wait, hold on. Look at that. Wait, what was that? Hold on. Look at this. I got like an Engon here.
Holy
What am
hell.
I doing?
What is that?
Yeah.
Also, he's wearing an actual pig's head?
No, it was supposed to be a mask. Okay, so this is Banana. So this
Yes.
is Banana Man.
Yes.
This is like the first like
Okay.
real game character I made. I made this after I made the Banshee.
Yes, I would like
And that was like my original concept for him. Was he was like a big dumb
like his
banana. So this is
lips.
the final version of the Banshee. So I'm missing a lot of details in ZBrush, but and she like floated. I remember I was just so cool. So yeah, that was the concept. I mean, I had no idea what hand painting was really, and I didn't even really try. But like, if I tried to make this now, I would like hand paint it. Actually, it might be. So that was like my first reel I made in GamePro 1, and so yeah, I made that was like so the real first character I ever made was this character.
Banana.
No, it was this guy. This dude, and this was like an 8-week character modeling course, learning ZBrush for the first time. So a lot of you guys are already above and beyond this. So clap, everyone clap themselves on the back, okay? So that was the first character I made. Then I made that Banshee, and then I made Banana Man, which is here. He's only 62,000 for something. So yeah, he was it says ripe. Okay, it says ripe, by the way. Okay, not anything bad. But yeah, this was my first real attempt at a character. And this is where I learned how to do proper baking and proper texturing.
So I just want to check, are his feet bananas as well?
Yeah, they were kind of banana-y. Yeah.
Yes.
That is really fucked up.
Yeah.
But
I also like how he has like 6 subtools and ours have like bazillion.
I mean, yeah, he's just a banana. Yeah.
Like, are his nipples separate subtools?
No, they're just sculpted on.
Oh.
He's got his eyeballs. He's got his shorts, his belt. Although I was going to do a bandolier. I don't think I finished that in time. He had sunglasses.
Yes.
But yeah, look at that. Look, his belt and his belt buckle. Look, all the things that I'm trying to teach you guys, I was doing way back then.
But this is the fun one right here.
Yeah, here's a more detailed character. Then this is the next, like, more detailed Witcher character I tried to make. She was like, yeah, she was meant to be like a female Witcher. God, look at those hands. Patrick Hillstead. Jesus Christ. What are up with these? Can I hide these, please? Okay, yeah. So this was like, I was like really into The Witcher, and I was like looking up a ton of reference and stuff from the games. So yeah, not the best for sure. That's when I learned it's like really hard to make realistic looking characters. And then I made the new version of Jacket, which I just showed you guys. This, not that guy, this guy. So then this was like my graduating piece that I was probably the most proud of. I probably made all of these over the course of like 6 months, I want to say, like 2 or 3 classes. My classes were 8 weeks long in school, so we didn't have a ton of time really to focus on stuff. And then the first good, I would say, character I really made was... Why does it say before wipe? What does that mean, you think? Was this guy. Was this creature box character that I made.
Ooh, that was toenails.
Yeah.
Yeah, those nails are pretty gnarly looking.
Do I have the final renders in here anywhere?
Are his toenails and his teeth using the same assets?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. No, they're different, I think.
Okay.
Do I not have images?
They
Final
look
Geo?
very similar, though.
Creature box. CB screenies. Why did I call them screenies? Why didn't I call them renders? This is why you got to name everything. Web shots. Here you go. This is what I'm looking for. Oh my fucking god, bad. Why don't I save anything? So, oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where the other creature box my other renders went, but I think it's still in my portfolio. Yeah, this is the only piece from school that I still keep on my portfolio, basically. So yeah, if you're making something right now and you feel like you're not in love with it, you're probably going to make like 2 or 3 more over the course of your entire career here, at least, hopefully, and you're going to get better each time. So, and then there will be dips, right? Like I felt like at that Witcher character, I was like, kind of hate myself. This shit sucks. And then I made the creature box character, you know. So, just give yourself time. Breathe, for sure. Anyway, that was like a fun trip down memory lane. Those are all the characters that I made basically in school. Does anybody have any questions about that stuff? Or questions about anything right now? I know it's 12 p.m. I mean, we're basically done. So I will look at your guys's. I will take a look and give you some comments tomorrow. Basically, like I said, your character should be relatively close to being done by the end of the month-ish. Start thinking about your low poly. Everything should have thickness. Ashley, I will definitely just record you a video on how I would tackle the coat because I know you've been waiting on that. And then if you guys have questions or you need more specific feedback, this week or next week, email me. This weekend is probably a good time, to reach out to me because I'm going to be creating and doing some other light work. So I should have some time to get back to people. But yeah, that's it.
I will send you about the shoes probably soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't just to remind everybody, I work on Mondays or I teach on Mondays. So basically Mondays are like a day that I just don't respond to feedback or emails because I'm doing a bunch of other stuff and then I have to teach. So, just kind of keeping everyone's expectations about that. And basically, yeah, at this point, if you message me at 7 p.m., I'm not answering until the next day. I'm just like too tired recently. So, try to email me the night before you want that feedback or like the morning of so I can get back to you on time. Cool. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to stop the recording.
Have you seen the new Monster Hunter trailer?
No, but it looks stupid because it's like military, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I cried. I was like, God, no.
So yeah, you guys can feel free to take off. I'm going to stick around and upload these videos. If anybody has any questions about anything else, stick around and ask. But yeah, see you guys next week. Don't forget to post your screenshots if you haven't. I'm grading this weekend again. Okay. Cool.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
Go get a nap and a lunch or something.
I know. I gotta go. I gotta get ready for my next class.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll upload the Fortnite hairstyle I found. So.
Okay. They just shoot me a link and I can send it to everybody.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really useful. I didn't thought I was trying to go for that style, and then when I was trying to figure a style, I was like, I don't know how to do hair like this my first time. It's interesting.
Man, this guy looks better than I thought he would. If I'm 100% honest, I'm like, damn.
I like the folds. Like that does look like leather than jacket. Still, I still have it hanged up.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on the back here, but on the front, I was like, hell yeah.
Okay, just the back of my of the character for her, if you.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know if you want to put more folds in the back or somehow.
I think the tail is probably I would definitely do another pass on the tail. I know you said you're unhappy with it, but
yeah, I'm still trying to figure the tail out. I'm still playing with it.
So yeah, kind of like on this guy, if you want to give, I know this is really old work. I wish I had a non-NDA piece of work I could show you, but if you want to do some work that kind of plays with the silhouette like this, just pulling out the fabric a little bit and adding a little bit of detail like that, you could totally feel free to push that for sure.
The her last other fold on top of her jacket. Yeah, I can push it more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not there yet. I'm just been trying to get to each step, I'm going to big shapes to small shapes last because small shapes are easy to do the detail soon.
Yeah.
If I had the ribbon connect to my the shirt and everything, would that be the low poly? Would that be an easier way to put my low poly in?
I would make the ribbon a separate subtool or high poly piece and then bake it to a separate low poly because I think it's just going to look nicer for sure.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I was trying to think like what should I just keep like from my low polys down, even with the like shoe ties or like the thing. Just make that separate tool or.
Bye, Daniel. Thank you. What sorry, what was your question, Tahoe? I'm sorry.
Like like the shoe ties and the chest tie in the middle part.
Yeah, so for the shoe ties and stuff, those can probably be baked down, maybe. But if you want to keep them really clean, it's possible. I can show you. Let me stop local cloud recording, and I stop sharing, and I can show you an example on an NDA file that I'm not really supposed to show. But
because I don't know if you want me to bake that with the shoe or just leave it separate.
I'm going to share my screen again in a sec. Let me load this up.
I'm scared, like, oh, it's going to look like when it's baked, it's like, oh, it's like really flat or somehow.
I mean, you're probably not really going to know until you try to bake it. I would say. Where's that character? Let's do this person. Let me save. Do I need to save anything as reference? Not really, I think.
And sorry, there's no folders in the 4.8. I was like I wish we had folders in the old ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I only have the older ZBrush and just Molly and things.
You guys can't see my screen, right?
Nope.
Thank God. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to show something like this again. So 3, 2, 1, go. Share screen. Okay. So this is a character. This is shoes for a character that I made for a client this summer. In the final version I did when I turned in is that these were separate subtools. These pieces here, these like laces that sat on top, but everything else was baked down. Oh. Now, because of the texturing, everything was pretty it was a little crunchy, but it was justified due to the nature of the game because the characters were going to be seen from pretty far away. So I've done it both ways. I think if you want it to feel really stylized and really nice and really clean, you would probably make what I would do is I would probably make these laces a separate subtool. I would make them a separate low poly mesh. And if you model them really cleanly, like I did, again, you can just go down to your lowest subdiv and just export them because this is just, they're pretty simple meshes basically, right?
Yeah, I was just worried about that when I do the low poly soon when I get to that part.
Yeah. I mean, in a production, you would probably bake it down, but your character, it's looking pretty good. So you don't necessarily have to bake it down. Again, look at reference of your favorite people again, see if you can figure out what they did. I think on where's that dragon girl we always look at, or we can look at this Blaze fan art, or here she is right here, right? Those are all separate strands floating off the surface for sure. Those are not baked down. So it's going to definitely make it it's going to definitely make it complicated when you want to animate it later. But I mean, that's just the way it goes. That's what you got to do to keep that level of quality. So this person did something similar to I did, I think. I think it looks like that they made these laces are all separate low polys. It looks like they very clearly, at least it looks like to me, they come off the surface. It's kind of hard to tell. They look like separate low polys to me.
Okay, I'll try to do that way then, because I'm just I don't know when I get to the low. Well, we're not there at the low poly yet, but yeah. Are you going to be talking about the legs? Well, some people that don't have legs, but some people that has legs, are you going to talk about the low poly for that? Well, when we do it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll show you guys examples too. Yeah.
Okay. That was one.
Yeah, there's only so many people doing that in this class, but yeah. This guy did not post his high polys, but I mean, he works at Smite. He works on Smite, so maybe we can look at some of his like production models. No, not really. My thing is if you can get away with making it a separate low poly piece and it looks good, do it. Like you have the budget and you have the time for it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's like 12:10. Let me get the videos up on the server.
Thank you.
Let me stop sharing my screen.
That skirt tutorial was really good, but
nice.
It gave me problems when I started doing the skirt. I was like, I don't know why this is hard.
I mean, it's that person knows what they're doing too. Like they're very knowledgeable.
They're really
good.
Sure. Like, God.
Game 340 module 7.
Then make it that, then mask it, and then go. For some reason I tried to go the like horizontal way. No, don't do that. Vertical is the only way you're gonna do to get that skirt well. It gave me a weird. It kept blowing up a couple of times too.
Hold on, let me put part 1 in this. F2, Control C. Okay, so okay, I'm going to, and this is Eving. Okay, part 2. I think Mercurial Forge also has like a bundle of video. He used to have a bunch of videos on his YouTube page, but I think he took them down and is just selling them now. So he also has a video on how to make a skirt, I think.
Okay. I still gotta find a couple. I'm right now trying to figure out the glove anatomy of clothing. Interesting. I found some videos of that.
Yeah, right here. So like he has like this art tutorial package. There you go. Easy pipe folds. That's the video I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Use that.
Cool. So, and then this is part 2 UVing, which is this one. Part 3, this is triangulation. Okay. Part 3, N-gons. Triangulation. Part 4, baking. Okay, F2, Control E. Part 5, Tahoe, feedback. Part 6, morph targets and layers. Part 7, booleans, and then
there's new. Okay.
part 2, or this is part 8, 9. Stephanie, feedback, and then pockets showing old work. Okay, F2, part 8. Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna upload these. I'll send you guys a link.
Cool.
Again, email me if you have any questions or concerns about anything, or you need more specific feedback. Here's the best email to get in contact with me. And yeah, let me upload these videos now. I'm gonna make sure that that's there. So Spring 2020 game 340.
Yep.
Have a good week.
Yeah, have a good week.
Have a good lunch too.
Mhm.
Sleep.
Thank you.
Everyone
I'm
needs
gonna. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.